Déjate llevar por el ritmo del nuevo mundo musical. No te sientas sola.
Ok, gracias. De todo corazón.
Y cuando tú te sientas sola, a solas, tú te descontrolas. Oh, 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 oh. Y cuando tú te sientas sola, a solas, con mi música en la consola. Y en la oscuridad, con seguridad, te activarás y dejarás que la noche te lleve, que la noche te lleve. Con seguridad, en la oscuridad, te activarás y dejarás que la noche te lleve, que la noche te lleve. Solo es tú y yo, oh, 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 solo es tú y yo, oh, 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 solo es tú y yo, oh, en una noche, yeah. Solo es tú y yo, oh, 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 solo es tú y yo, oh, solo es tú y yo, oh, déjate llevar. Y cuando tú te sientas sola, a solas, tú te descontrolas, oh, oh, oh. Y cuando tú te sientas sola, a solas, con mi música en la consola. Y a mí me encanta ver tu sensualidad y me encanta ver cómo te dejas llevar del nuevo mundo musical. Y a mí me encanta ver tu sensualidad y me encanta ver cómo te dejas llevar por el ritmo, por el ritmo. Deja todo a tu imaginación, conmigo vas a tener diversión, creatividad. Recuerda todo lo que hacíamos, cómo nos complacíamos. Y tú recuerdas cómo nos perdíamos en la oscuridad. Y de nadie más, y te voy a hacer mía, no existe nadie más. Y cuando tú te sientas sola, a solas, tú te descontrolas. Y cuando tú te sientas sola, a solas, con mi música en la consola. Déjate llevar por el ritmo del nuevo mundo musical. No te sientas sola, aquí estoy yo.
Thank you. Welcome to Face to Face, and thank you, Belaez, for this song. Thank you very much. And today I'm with Delia, and we're going to talk about youth. No?
Yes.
You have an organization. You take care of high school students and a leadership program.
That's right. I started a program called Young Governors, which is a youth organizing program based in Elmhurst. And basically, we are training the teens to be community organizers, and they're tasked to identify and address an issue in their community.
So how you go picking issues? What is the process? Because, I mean, it's quite complicated with the diversity of the community to know what type of issue.
Sure. Well, since it's a youth organizing program, the idea is for the youth to be involved from the beginning to the end. So. Okay. They go through a training, a 1 month long intensive training, and they learn skills in organizing, planning, in addition to communication, conflict resolution, things like that. And then they go through a community needs assessment. So they are doing research about the community, they're going out and surveying people, they're talking to their neighbors, they're holding focus groups with other youth to try to see what the community thinks are the issues, and they talk amongst themselves and they decide what they want to focus on. So each year there's a different focus.
Oh, so you do one campaign a year with them, or do you have an example of a campaign you?
Yes. So this year, the program year that just ended last week, the focus was on oppression of age groups.
Okay.
And so the idea was to address the stereotypes of youth and seniors, and to look beyond the age, to look at the ability and what, despite the age, people have to offer. And previous years, we've done one issue that comes up a lot when you ask the community is cleanliness. So we did a campaign that started with a neighborhood cleanup.
Okay.
We started a community garden that was in an abandoned lot, and so the teens, they cleaned up the lot and then they turned it into a garden. So things like that.
I remember a story about a Panam hotel who was transformed into not a community center, but it was more a shelter for families.
Right, a family shelter.
And then I thought it was interesting to for everyone to have the youth involved on the.
Yeah. So in addition to the issues that they focus on in the year, some things will come up, some neighborhood issues, and so this was a big one for Elmhurst. There was a motel that was turned into a family shelter. And the city did this without informing the residents.
Of course.
And so, understandably, there was a big outcry from the residents, and it quickly turned pretty ugly. And so there were demonstrations in front of the shelter, and we were concerned because the anger of the residents, even though it was understandable, it was being misdirected, and so the family who were moved in through no fault of their own were feeling targeted and not welcome
and the
in
discrimination
and it turned into, because the families who were moving in were mostly African American, and the community members that were not happy were mostly Asian, and so it turned into a race issue among other things, and so the youth wanted to get involved, the young governors, and to show, one, that the whole community is not against the shelter and not against the families moving in. They wanted to show a different light to the community, and so we did a community event to welcome the residents as neighbors to the community, and to also try to bring together the neighbors and the new residents together to build some kind of community.
And what was the reaction of the youth as they went doing their activities? What type of difficulties they faced?
It was hard for them to get community members involved. Even just doing the community's assessment, it's hard to even get somebody to stop and talk to you for 2 minutes. The first part of the work is, because they're working with a team, so the first part of the work is building a team and finding a way to communicate with each other and come to an agreement through work that they've never done before. And so that was a lot of the challenge in the beginning, and coming to agreement about what the issues are.
And then, but when they met, like if it was a protest, they went there, and how do they participate to the protest or against the protest? Or
yeah, so we went to the protest not to participate, but to, one, to see what's going on and be there firsthand, but to give a different voice, to balance some of the community outcry, and to show that the people that are moving in are not so different from the residents who already live there. They've come across hard times, and to try to bring understanding, instead of the anger, and then also to think of better solutions. With that.
And then you went at the political level. I know you had contact with some council member, and then so on and so forth. How did they reach out to them, or it was the reverse?
We have a really good relationship with our council member, Daniel Drum. He's been very supportive of us, and so we work with him with some of his community events, and so we've talked to him about some of the issues. For this issue in particular, we didn't necessarily go to a higher level, but we were involved in just trying to find out what was going on and keeping up with.
And what do you think this program bring to the kids? What do they? How do they transform themselves? Do you see the process? Do you see?
Yeah, I definitely, even in a few short months.
Yeah.
It's really amazing to see how they just take such ownership of the process, of their role as community organizers, and of their role in the community, and they just open up. I see them, start as shy and timid, young people who don't think that they have a voice, to teens who feel like they can make a difference, and not only in their community but also in their own lives. And one of the ideas is for the skills that they learn doing this community work to translate into their own lives, and for them to also show other youth as well as other adults what they can do, and instead of being victims, now they are the change agents, and they're the solutions in their community.
And then so they do it for a year, or how, 2 years, and some of them continue?
So they sign up for, and so since it's a youth organizing program, the idea is for the youth to be leading as well.
Okay.
And so if they move up, they become veterans, and then they're trained as leaders, and they're trained to facilitate the group meetings as well. And so we do, and on top of the training, we do a leadership development process with them as well.
So what is the next big campaign, big?
For Young Governors?
Yeah.
This is a good question. We so it's been about 5 years almost now. We will be celebrating our 5th year anniversary in the spring, which I can't believe. And so this is a time to look back at our 5 years and to see what we've done well, what we need to learn from the mistakes we made, and figure out what is the next 5 years gonna look like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had dreams of planting it in other neighborhoods that don't have youth organizing programs. So I'm not sure. Possibilities are open. We have a lot of dreams.
Great. Anything you want to plug, to say, to people do?
I mean, I came into this work because I believe in the resilience and the passion of youth that can be used for amazing work. And if you look at our history, it was the youth that were building the movements.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to forget that part of our history. And so I think, any youth that we that are in our lives or in our communities, I think we should all be investing in these youth and being a part of their growth, instead of just seeing teens as the stereotypes of troublemakers, but like seeing that they can be agents of change, they can be assets of the community.
Thank you so much, Delia. I know you are running late.